Mr. BYRNE, welcome to Congress Mediabox. So your report on creating a lingua franca for local and regional authorities and young people has just adopted on the Congress 29th session. First of all, we would like to congratulate you for this important report. And on your report, you mentioned that there is a lack of dialogue between young citizens and elected representatives. And you propose a creation of new language, let's say, to strengthen the relation between both of them. So I would like to first ask you, what are the reasons that put a barrier between these groups?
Well, young people are really interested in politics. There's a misconception out there that young people aren't interested in politics, but if you talk to young people about issues like the environment, equality, human rights, education, you will see an enthusiasm and a passion, and also about the issues that affect them in the communities in which they live. The difficulty is often that political structures that we have in place, and many of these structures go back to the 19th century, they're not keeping pace with young people who have come of age in the 21st century. So how do we marry those very traditional structures that we use to deal in politics with the language that young people use today? And part of what this report was about trying to encourage ways whereby elected representatives on the one side and young people on the other could mutually understand the interests of each side, could understand the rights and responsibilities, and could engage. What this report very much talks about is about using that kind of language and setting up the platforms to allow that to happen, be that youth councils, youth parliaments, use of the internet and social media to engage with young people, but really building an understanding between the two groups.
So maybe with that point, we can create a lingua franca, a new common language. To be more precise, what are your recommendations to the local and regional authorities of the member states?
Well, our challenge, well, the recommendations have obviously been adopted here today. The real challenge is how will this operate in practice? And what we would love to see is, with every local and regional authority right across Europe, that they would have a meaningful local youth council and youth parliament whereby young people can engage, and not just on youth issues, but that they're consulted on issues more widely, that consideration be given to a budget for young people to decide how particular things can be improved within their community, that young people will be communicated with using social media, and that local and regional authorities make a more effective use of that. And local and regional authorities are the most accessible level of democracy. It's very easy for a young person to contact somebody within their local authority. What is key here, and what we're trying to do, is to ensure that when they do knock on that door, that there is an ear that is willing to listen and somebody who's willing to help. And part of that is also about training elected members to ensure that they know how to effectively engage with young people.
And in that context, I think it's also important to underline that Congress give floor to youth delegates. Also on your debate as well, we heard their voice. It was also important. What do you think about the youth delegates' participation to the Congress sessions?
They've been inspiring, and the young people who have taken part, they haven't just taken part in the discussion about youth participation, they've been involved in other discussions. We had a very interesting discussion about radicalisation in Europe earlier on, and they've contributed. And I think it shows that young people, and these are young people from a wide variety of backgrounds, it shows that young people are interested and passionate about the issues, that if given the opportunity to participate, they will. But it's as much about, taking young people through the steps as to how to effectively contribute to political structures. It's a learning experience for young people as much as it is for elected members, and what we've tried to put in place now is a toolbox with suggestions as to how local authorities can go and do it. But the hope is here that local authorities and regional authorities all across Europe will now put in place structures whereby they can meaningfully engage young people.
Thank you for all these clear messages and joining for us, Mr. BYRNE.
Great, thank you.